We're here. We survived.
What did we survive?
I say survived. But isn't it weird how much different a Hartford Athletic game looks in person rather than watching on TV?
Yeah. I thought when we watched it on TV that there was a lot of people. But when we went, there was really a lot of people.
There was a lot of people. I mean, like, I don't know. It seemed safe, though. Like, there was never a time where I felt not safe.
They had the mask patrol on lock. You could not take a bite of pizza and chew it for 3 seconds without some man being like, hey, could you please make sure you please? I can't see your nose.
And, like, I took a sip of my beer and I thought I was committing a crime. I'm 23, bro.
Rightfully so, though. I mean, everyone was safe, so.
Yeah, no, but I was surprised at how often I was wrong with what I was seeing. Like, I just saw a different game than the TV showed, I'm pretty sure.
What do you mean?
Just with, like, I thought there was a handball. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, you see tackles and you're like, oh, that was rough. And you see it on the broadcast and you're like, oh, that was soft as hell.
Yeah, because we pulled it up. Yeah, and we didn't believe that Guzman kicked that man in the face. He absolutely kicked him right in the face.
Told him right in the mouth.
Gave him a bloody nose, all that.
All that. So, like, it just looks different.
Yeah.
Not being able to see all angles.
Well, and you, like, go with the feeling of the crowd, which always supports Hartford, so it's like...
Yeah, like if they scream,
it's like there's no way he just kicked him in the face in the box.
Some of the fans, though, you hear something that they say, and you're like, are you watching the same game that we are? Like, somebody near us was like, oh, that number 9 he's really something. Like, he's touched the ball like twice.
On the other team, yeah. He's like, watch, he's going to make us pay.
Yeah.
And then, like, for the first time in the 88th minute, when he got in the box, he's like, oh, I told you, he's about to score. Didn't score, though.
Whatever. I mean, it was really, it's cool. That's like a really cool stadium to be in. It's so personal, and you see people that you know, like, from the area, and you're like, oh, this is actually, like, we're all doing this. Like, we're all actually supporting this team.
You know what's going to be really cool to see at that stadium?
What?
Do you already know?
What, us beating Red Bulls for the second time?
Well, that happens all the time. But seeing that man Haak lace up the boots and get on that field,
about that.
So crazy.
It's so cool. I think that's the second player to make the leap from NYCFC to Hartford, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's like semi-local to where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy to have Hartford be the feeder club.
Yeah, and it's not a major downgrade in terms of skill and, final product. I'm just excited actually to get down there and, like, watch him play for real.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think many people have seen him play for New York City just because the appearances haven't been there. But I could easily see, and I think I tweeted this at the club or something, but I could easily see him, like, being a consistent player with Hartford. Like, at minimum, he's turning into, like, the Nagelstad that gets subbed in for the last 20 to 30 of every game.
He should definitely be a starter.
Yeah, or on the high end, I said he could easily get in there and boss that midfield with Barrera, and they'd be a better team with that.
For sure, yeah. And, like, he's the type of player that has that hunger that he honestly could, if our squad wasn't so deep, he could be playing for the senior team. And so going out on loan, that's just him not wanting to sit around and watch. Like, he just wants to be involved, which is honestly, like, you can't knock that.
And it's perfect business for New York too, because they said we could just recall him at any point.
Yeah.
So if it comes a situation where he's, like, playing out of his mind, or if it comes to a depth situation where we need somebody because of injuries once we get deep into the season, we'll just bring him back up and he'll be match fit to hop right in. So
yeah, I mean, and when I say feeder club, I don't mean that Hartford's necessarily, like, a lower tier team. Outside of, like, obviously MLS is going to be way more competitive than the USL, but honestly, Hartford, with that atmosphere and the way that club can go, especially with the current manager, like, you could see that team making a bid in 5 years to be in the MLS. Like, it could be one of the expansion teams.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it's not quite as extreme as a situation of, like, the best college football team could beat the worst NFL team, but like, Hartford could definitely give, like, some of the worst MLS teams, like, a run for their money.
For sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
On Hartford's best day, and on, like, I'm trying to think of who to even mention.
I wouldn't throw anybody under the bus, honestly. But
we won't call anyone out. But on their like average day, it's looking bad. Like if DC United rolled in to Dillon Stadium like they played against us, and Hartford were feeling pretty good, they're probably going to take an L. DC is going to take an L.
Anybody who's able to finish against DC is getting a result. Wait, before we get into that game, because there's a lot to unpack there.
There's so much.
Let's keep the energy high. You look... No, you don't look different. Something looks different.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even touched on this. Here we are, like, too many minutes into the recording to even consider this. But this is our new setup.
This is our new home.
We moved things around. We nailed things into the wall.
Bob the Builder style.
It looks pretty good.
It's all level.
It is level.
Which is sensational.
To the best of our ability, it's level.
And it looks great. A lot of this stuff is brand new.
Yeah, the 2 Hartford scarves we got in like the other day or whatever.
Just to bring the thing to life. I mean, it was kind of lifeless a little bit.
Yeah, and then you got the
amazing personalities.
Yeah, and then you got the scarf at the playoff game, and then that other scarf there has just been around. I don't know. That might be like
as old as the club.
Yeah, maybe. That may be the 2015, like possibly 2016 scarf. And then we've got some pictures up there, and maybe we can edit them over so you guys can actually see them.
Yeah, or maybe put them on Instagram or something. Put them on our story.
Something. So we got like a shot of a playoff game.
The only one that we went to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then a selfie from the same game. You'll be shocked to see this photo when it's like blown up, and so you can actually look at it. I promise there is no alcohol involved. I don't know why I look like that.
Probably not yet. It's probably before the game started.
Yeah, that was probably some type of divine intervention where I had a second where I knew that was going to happen to us, because that's what I look like.
I think that's when we're buying chicken fingers, to be honest.
Yeah.
We were in the chicken finger line.
Yeah, I look like I already knew that we were going to lose.
Oh, that's the scarf that's right here, actually, around my face.
Oh, yeah.
And then that other one, that's my favorite picture, I think, that I own, to be honest.
That's so dope. That's that little turf field, like on top of the parking garage outside of Yankee Stadium. To anybody listening, if you ever, or if we're ever allowed to go to Yankee Stadium again to see them play, and it doesn't even matter if the game is an 8 o'clock game. I think we always end up on the turf field. But after the game, we're always there for like 2-3 hours before we make the drive back to Connecticut. So
yeah, literally just playing with anybody who wants to play with us. Any local. Right there, that's literally 5 or 6 kids that we met that day and just decided to. I don't even think we spoke the same language. We just kind of kicked the ball at them, and they kicked it back. And
yeah, somehow it turned into like a 6v6 after we had like kicked around for an hour, and then we got into a 6v6 or something like that.
I don't even know how we communicated what the goals were. We were just scoring goals somehow.
Yeah, people put up like backpacks and sweatshirts, and then we were in a game.
My favorite part of soccer right there. Yeah. Is just being able to literally hang out with people you have nothing in common with, never talked to before, can't even speak the same language, and you guys are making a game.
Definitely like a top.
Stadium. It's insane.
Top 3 moment of all the New York City moments that we have. So
anyway, let's switch it over to talking about our wonderful soccer club, New York City.
Man.
You can go first. I mean, you have a lot stronger opinions, I guess, on this game than I do.
Well, so one thing that you were shocked to see earlier when you sat in my seat when we were making angles is that I wrote verbatim, Medina, awful game. That's the whole note.
That was the tweet, apparently.
That was the note.
My question is, how can you rate him so poorly when the team itself looked awful?
Yeah, so I just copied these over from the notes in my phone. So I would imagine that was written maybe a minute to or a couple seconds after he missed that absolute sitter that Mats gave him to score a goal. So maybe a little emotion-filled. But talking about Mats, I think, and the MLS Team of the Week reflects this, Mats had like an incredible first half, like potentially the best half of football or soccer even that we've ever seen him play. I mean, he was really unlucky that Medina didn't finish that attempt and that Keaton wasn't able to finish that other one. I mean, he easily should have had 2 assists, and he was in the attack the entire, like every minute he was up there. And the blessing with that is not having Matrita at left wing. We have a man named Alexander Ring who knows how to track back so that Mats can get up into the box, play those balls, and feed the attack. So it doesn't always have to be the dude on the left wing cutting in.
Right. Okay, so historically we've said that the left side of our team is the weakest side of any team ever in the MLS, probably ever.
Yeah.
That is literally the game that Matarrita needed to have to show that we can do it. It was unfortunate that we didn't finish the goals that he created, but catching a team like that who's coming in to defend and they're probably doing the thing that every other team has done, where they're like, oh, I don't care about the left side at all. You guys can do whatever you want over there. Have at it. Matarrita having that type of game brought players to be like, okay, maybe we got to respect that left side. Like, we've been sleeping on that left side for sure. Matarrita whipping balls in. But our finishing this whole year has been trash. Like,
That's been
the worst I've ever seen a team finish, I think. If you break it down, you look at our expected goals and what we're actually scoring, it's bad. And it's not, I don't even know if it's a confidence thing.
Or even just our shots to goals.
It's not a skill thing, I should say, actually. It's not a skill thing. It is a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Because you saw Heber last year, everybody was banging in goals. And that just built that confidence and the trust in each other. There's not that anymore. There just simply isn't.
Well, the Heber thing is absolutely confidence. I mean, he's had opportunities, like so many opportunities. I mean, some tap-ins. Yeah.
In some of them, but a lot of them, it's like, bro, how are you not finishing that?
Yeah, if it's a goal that he should be finishing, then the reason he wouldn't would just confidence would be behind that. I don't know with this one. So we had like 19 shots. I think like 4 or 6 they said were on target. We got no goals. It just seems to me like, and I think I had told you this right after the game, it seems like DC got exactly what they came to play for, which was a 0-0
Which is
draw.
so boring and annoying to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, it takes me back to Mourinho at United. Like, you knew every day, no matter what the team is, they're going to sit behind the ball, play really boring and just trying to grind out wins. It's like, dude, I respect you trying to get results, but at the same time, do it in a way that I'm not falling asleep on my couch watching my favorite team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and even going back to how many goals we created, it's like Maxi had a terrible game and he was still the one creating all of our chances. Like, he had some sparks in the first half, but genuinely he had probably one of his worst games in our shirt, and he created almost all of our chances outside of the ones with Matarrita.
Yeah, that's what I had. That was the next like awful game type thing I had was I think Maxi warmed up the longer the game went, but his first half was just not good. Like, until you got around the 35-minute and on mark, he was just playing awful. We saw him, like you said, start creating some sparks, definitely in the second half, but just to no avail. Like, nothing came of it, so it's not nothing to write home about, really.
Yeah, and I mean, we keep seeing this with both teams, really. Hartford Athletic and New York City FC both do it, where they're getting in promising areas and then pulling it back. And there's nothing that annoys me more in American soccer than watching that. It's like, dude, just have the trust in yourself and your teammates that you can put a good ball in and that your teammates are going to be in somewhat of a spot to get on the end of it. But that doesn't mean like what was happening at one point where we're just launching up long balls hoping for somebody to be on it. Like, that can't happen either.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you said when we were in the stands. Like, the second, I can't even remember which player it was that, like, I think it was our right back, because this dude literally, like, got the ball, beat 2 men, sprinted all the way to the 18. As soon as he got there, he cuts back and passes it right back to his center back, like almost a half point. And you just turn to me and Brian and you're like, this is the thing that I hate the most about American soccer.
And
it's like,
it curses our national team too because it carries over.
But not only that, but it's like, it's just so deflating and demotivating. Like, as he's making that run, he like beats two men. Like, the whole crowd is like, "Oh my god!"
We might do something.
Like the whole crowd is like gasping and cheering, and then like instantly just cuts back, kills the play, and it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
And so I mean, not to bounce around too much or anything, but it for Hartford to get back into that game, it literally took our midfielder being like, "Oh, nobody wants to make a run. I'll just smash this thing."
Just stepped up,
step up and smash it. Like, so I don't know. That it's a problem maybe with American soccer the way that it's always been played, but it needs to change, dude. Play more like LAFC, where everything to them is about an attack.
Yeah.
Kill off games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything else like special to say about the?
Oh no, it was a terrible game to watch.
Yeah, we should have been a win, no doubt.
The last thing I'll say about it is it was really funny when the announcer at one point is like, "Oh, for the people watching over in England," like, dude, no, the people in England probably turn this off because this is terrible football.
Yeah. The like 3 or 4 that we're watching.
Yeah,
they've left the TV.
They've gone to bed, dude. They're tired of the back passes too. They want somebody to make a run.
Yeah, and I think people on Twitter too were saying that DC's been doing this for a while, and they're like shocked that the DC coach is still hanging around. But I just can't imagine like game planning not to win. What does that even mean?
Well, when you know that your team is bad.
But they're not that bad. They're not that bad.
Okay, but the thing is, you're going into that game without Areola. You're not in your best chances to win, and especially to create goals or to score goals. So yeah, you're gonna probably put a bunch of people, but at the same time, Ronnie has to know going in, like, hey, their best player is not gonna be there. Even the dude that used to play on the crew, he didn't start, and so
all they had was
going into that game with that team sheet. You're probably telling your players, like, hey, you can get up and really attack these guys. They're not going to be coming at you. Mm-hmm. When they come at you, it's going to be soft as cotton candy. Like, you have nothing to worry about. But
what we didn't bring up, and I just thought of it, because I don't think we were trying to make excuses anyways. I think we kind of just put it both out of our minds. But there were 2 handballs that went the wrong way. Yeah. First off, Briant did us dirty in the box. The story from the start of the game, like, as soon as you see that Ted Uncle is reffing a game, you know that there's going to be... you know he's going to make a statement.
He wants
with whatever call or no call that he makes, it's going to happen in the game. And it happened twice for us. So you had the Briant handball in the box. Absolutely a handball.
Intentionally moved his hand to hit it.
Yeah, I understand with the rule book, it's like not making your body bigger, but just because his arm is coming in towards his body, he may be making his body smaller, if that's the technical terms that we're going with. But like, he literally moved his arm in the way of the path of the ball in an attempt to stop it. So I just don't know.
Remember this, right? The announcer and the refs allegedly say that Briant in that moment is moving his hand to protect his face, right? Mm-hmm. Think back a month ago. Paul Pogba's at the top of the key. He gets a shot blasted at him and literally puts his hands right here to cover his face.
Yep.
Directly hits him in the hands. Doesn't hit him in the face. Penalty. And everyone's like, oh, you got to take that shot to the face, blah, blah. That's a full force shot from a Premier League player.
And to me, that ball wasn't even hitting Briant in the face.
Exactly.
Like, it was catching him shoulder.
You compare that to somebody lightly crossing the ball in an MLS game. Like, it's just different.
No excuses, but
that's BS.
Yeah, that should have been a pen for us, and I don't want to say, like, I'm not trying to win games just by pens. Like, I would much prefer if we could just get, like, 19 open play goals a game. But if we're due a pen, we're due a pen at the end of the day. So, give it to us because we deserve it. And then the other handball, it went against us, but not in the same way when they called Tati on a handball. When this man literally, and both of these were confirmed. You know how the MLS does the instant replay stuff on YouTube, and they have like a ref, I don't know if it's a committee, some type of ref representative go through each of the like key VAR moments from the week. And he looked at both of those and he was like, yeah, that was a pen and this was not a handball to go our way. So essentially giving us 2 goals. And it's like, I don't know. Like
how many times are we going to get screwed over by these refs?
I mean, he literally the ball hit him here, man. And he played it right to Mackay and clasped by Mackay to finish that, like to take that turn and far post it right underneath the keeper. I mean, that's as good as
a left peg on him for sure.
He's unlucky not to get the goal. I don't know.
Crazy, dude. Crazy idea. You get it on our attacker's correct foot, and they make things happen.
Yeah.
It is a crazy... I don't even know the word.
Crazy,
I just blanked out.
I know
I
what you mean. A crazy concept. Give an attacker a ball, he'll score it.
Correct. Score more than the other team, but don't draw.
Leave it to Ted Uncle, we'll lose or tie when we should have won. So I think that's just
transition.
Yeah, I think that's just about
messed up so many things.
I think that's just about all we have to say about both games. So we wanted to do a little tier list review of the guys that sent in all the tier lists that we sent out and got back
first.
But that's all the tier lists that we received. We're gonna have the midfielders next for sure. Some real fun ones on there. That's gonna be super hard because now we're getting into real DP land. Skill position and like captain land, and
I think Sands is also gonna be there.
Yeah, you have to put him there. So
you're gonna be ranking him again. Oh, who do you think had the best tier? Probably Kevin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, outside of myself, of course.
Kevin or was it Schwafta that had an interesting one, or was it Manhattan? Manhattan, I think, was the solid one, where he like properly had one S tier dude. He had the right dudes in A, except Ireola, which is a little weird.
AKA on brand.
But we had some solid ones. I think people would have more fun with the midfield and attacking ones though, because those are the dudes that you really know. So
yeah,
let's get out of here before you guys can hear those sirens.
Yeah, before we start hearing wee-woos and all that.
All types. So it's turned into a little bit of a longer episode than I imagined.
We might. Well, I think we're gonna end up having to cut out a little bit just from us figuring out these tier lists.
We can probably cut the tier list into its own little thing, and
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but
hope you guys enjoy the new setup.
New digs.
This is a nice little touch from the card that they gave us.
Show those boys that came with the scarves that we ordered. So
and the tickets that will inevitably come.
Can't wait to be back at the stadium. To be back at Yankee Stadium and back to playing on that turf, man. That's the real
dude. I love it.
It's the real dream, playing on a turf. So
maybe catch us at the next Hartford Athletic game if we're there.
I think we're gonna reach out to those men and see if we can't get a little hood pass or a press pass, as some people might call it, to the game. See if we can get in there.
Get you some on-field content.
Maybe bring a camera over there, take some pictures, maybe get some words with some players.
Get in time so that I can actually get buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah, I think
from Worcester.
One thing that we have on the agenda, and there's no promises to this at all because it's so not up to us, but like we have to speak to Haak. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That was the first thing when I saw the transfer. I was like, what a collision of worlds. Like our podcast is just New York and Hartford, and now we have, for the first time since we've recorded, like proper business between the two of them. It makes the most sense to try to speak to him. So
I don't want to say that we're responsible for Haak coming.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the second that somebody's interested in both, some business happens between them.
Yeah, they might be watching.
I'm just saying, like, look, we could take agent fees. We can work these deals out.
Bro, we could just interview players and it's cool. That could be all.
But Nagelstad. Whomever.
Yeah, anybody. But I think it'd be cool.
Sean Johnson, come and tell me why you're good.
Bro, I'll talk to Ibiaga. I don't care.
Tell me why you're good. Defend yourself.
But yeah, I think
yeah, we've gone on way too long.
Yeah, so.
Post 90 Pod on all socials. I think my brain is melting because we're currently recording at 12:42.
12:42, man.
And my brain.
12:42, man.
My brain doesn't work. That Yeah. Let's get out of here. Post 90 Pod. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace.
Deuces.